Hi, so I am here to do stand-up comedy, and I'm not standing, I'm sitting. So this is a stand-up comedy slash podcast kind of a thing. Welcome to my podcast. I am Kishore Padmanabhan. I'm from PGP 20 batch. Sorry that you guys are all stuck in quarantine or isolating yourself. It's a very hard time. I really understand that, and people miss outside world really. And one of the things that anyone will miss is meeting up with their friends. And generally when you're meeting with your friends, what people really do like doing a lot is point out how fat they are. Oh my god, bro, you got so fat. That's one of the things that you guys do. I don't know why you do that, but you guys do that with me though a lot. Okay, first time I went to Nostalgia after finishing my college, my juniors were like, hey bro, you got fat. I'm like, thank you, I'm doing great in my life. Yeah. Second time I went to Nostalgia, they were like, hey bro, you got fatter. Oh, you came all the way back on campus to tell this Sada. I'm just scared the next time when I come to Nostalgia, they will like, Kishore, bro, you are the fattest. Okay, you are the fattest. Anyway, so I'm also losing hair. That is yet another thing people point out, like a lot. It's weird, like when you're getting fat, people advise you to go to a gym. But when you're losing hair, people advise you to get married. What the fuck is up with that? Why is that how is that the solution for okay? Anyway, talking about marriages. Yeah, let's talk about marriages. Why not? Uh, the reason why people get married is kind of similar sometimes to why they are doing an MBA. Like you ask around people, hey man, why are you getting married or why are you doing an MBA? Some people will say, hey bro, I just wanted to settle in my life. No, it's a very common thing. Same reasons. Another set of people will say, hey bro, my parents told me. Again, same set of reasons. Some Bania folk might say, I just wanted to develop my father's business. That's a subtle joke. Okay. That's a subtle joke. If you ask women, hey, why did you do an MBA or why did you get married? They'll be like, I just wanted to travel to Europe. Da. And it's either this or I have to get married and then go. So I'm just picking this. That's a sexist joke. Okay. Uh, so we have a lot of fond memories of doing MBA, and I didn't want to do much during my MBA. So I picked my electives also like that in the second year. I picked electives of one prof who offers one subject every term. Very cool sounding subjects. Okay, it's so cool that you like if you can't even write it in the CV. It's so long the names are, but you still pick it. I picked it because I had feedback from my seniors. You don't have to do anything. I'm like, that's great. That's the type of subject I want to take. First day in the class. Okay, shit. Did I reveal too much? Okay. Anyway, moving on. Okay. So the professor was talking about should Amazon invest in their drone technology, and people are giving out pointers. People are taking notes. Mind, this is fourth term. Okay. So there are foreign exchange students. There are people from France, Russia, Germany, and everything. And then people are sitting and taking notes of should Amazon, deliver parcels through drones. I'm thinking people were telling I don't have to do much. ये तो ज़्यादा effort लग रहा है. And then by the end of the class, Prof said Amazon should not invest in drone technology. Amazon should invest in teleportation. Yes, teleportation. And then everyone closed their notebooks. The Nazis are now excited. Okay, they were like full on. Oh fuck, what are these Indians up to, bro? Like, anyway. So foreign exchange students when they come to campus, it's kind of nice, right? I mean, it's kind of mahal, thoda acha hota hai. But there are some negatives also. One day I was walking and my friend Karthik was walking in front of me, and we just casually use the word nigger. Okay, we just call each other nigger. No reason. We don't have any, the function of slavery behind it. So we just casually call each other that. So he was walking in front of me, and I told, "Yo, nigger," and he turned back, and there was a forex person who was a little bit African looking. She also turned back. Now I am turning back. Oh my god, who is this? I don't know. And Karthik goes, "Yo nigga, what's up?" Oh my god, dude. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, people are a little bit excited when forex girls are there. They are like, "Oh, यहाँ का लड़कियां तुम्हें कुछ भाव नहीं दे रहा है." And you think विदेशी people are gonna come and be like, "Oh, okay." Moving on from that joke. It's always a weird thing, crossing people on campus. It's not weird. It's kind of like awkward little bit. Once I was walking on campus in the night, and there was a junior girl, pretty looking girl, and she was walking. She was walking. She was just crossing me, and she told hi. Now I have seen so many movies. Okay, so I know how this goes. Okay, and the pretty girl says hi, and the dumb fuck goes, and then there is someone else on the back, and then I don't want to get into that situation, so I just did not mind her, and I just kept walking. And after I crossed her, I thought, okay, who was she telling hi to? And I looked behind, and there was no one. Oh my god, such a lost opportunity. You cannot go now back to her and say, hey, hi, I am the guy who told hi, I'm the creep, hi. You can't do that, right? Oh my god, lost opportunity. Well, anyway. Saying hi to people on campus is pretty complex. It's a complex social interaction, I would say, because there are a lot of acquaintances and you don't know how well they know you, right? So sometimes you are on an elective with them, they didn't know you exist, or sometimes you were put in a forced project group with them and they wished you didn't exist. So you cannot really you don't know if you should recognize them and say hi, what's up, and all to them. So you tend to not say hi. So whenever there's a person who's an acquaintance who's crossing you, okay, now you're perplexed. Okay, should I look at them? Should I not look at them? What should I? How do I act? Now you know them, but you don't know if they know you. Okay, so usually what I do is I will act like I don't have no peripheral vision. I will just be spot Kishore. We are here for the jeera rice butter chicken. That is what we are here for. Focus on that, right? But a friend of mine, she once caught me and told, hey dude, that's not very cool, that was very rude, you cannot do that. And I'm like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Just what am I supposed to do? Yeah, you do that. Do what? So apparently you can do this. When someone is crossing, you don't know them much, just check out if they are making eye contact with you. If they are making eye contact, just do this. Doesn't mean anything. It's like, I recognize you know me, and then that's it. Okay. Now you don't have to have enough guts to go say hi and have a conversation. Just can do and then walk away. In that way, you are removing the awkward moment and the sad moment. So that is my advice to the first years. If there is anyone listening to this, well, another thing, we have a lot of good memories about campus. One of the bad memories that we have is of going and collecting books. Collecting books. It's such a pain, man. Okay, so many books you have to carry. First day only, then you keep it in room and forget about it. Okay, that's the that's the relationship between you and the books. So first day, you go. First they'll send you one PDF. Okay, and then you go and take a printout of it in the library. Sometimes you'll have to wait there, and then you come again, and there is one long ass queue to get the book from the book collection center. By that time, you have lost your patience. You're like, okay, I'll collect it later on, and then you forget. For like 2-3 weeks, you forget, and then the professor says it's an open book exam. I'm like, fuck, though I know I need the book now. Shit, and then you go to the book collection place. During that interval only, you go to that place and be like, hey, can I have this book? The guy takes the list and be like, oh, this is out of stock. Oh, it's out of stock, is it? Oh, yeah, sure, it's out of stock. Because you had no clue how many people will come and get that book. No, you had no idea of demand kitna hoga, kitna log book aake puchega. You had the list, bro. Come on. You had the list. Okay, take the books and keep. No. Also, if they are actually doing that, who the fuck is taking 2-3 books? Huh? Who's taking 2-3 books and going away? That's not pretty cool. Then they'll say, okay, fine. You know what? We'll send you a mail. Once we get the books, we'll send you a mail. You don't worry about it. And of course, you're not going to see the mail. Okay. You are just living your life there. You are not following emails. So you missed taking the book. And you didn't study for the quizzes also. Okay. So you never wanted the book. So at the end of the term, you're like, oh shit, can't pay a book. And the book is not there. And the first thing that you do is go and look in the huge pile of books. Every hostel has this one huge pile of books. We don't know who put it there. Okay, who's coming and collecting all the books and assembling it in this pile? Nobody knows. But there is one pile of books in every hostel. Okay. And first you go and search in that pile if you are getting lucky. And sometimes you are not lucky. And the recourse for that is you go and ask your seniors. If it's second year, fuck, you are the senior. You are supposed to be responsible. Oh my God. Now what will you do? You'll go to the administration block hoping that they will have the book. You go there and there is Simi ma'am. I hope you all know Simi ma'am. Some people might not know Simi ma'am. It's cool. Fine. Oh shit. I should not have said names anyway. So there is Simi ma'am, and then you go and hi ma'am, I miss collecting this book, and she gives you the look like what do you want? Like sorry ma'am, I forgot collecting this books. What were you doing when we are distributing? I came, but there was no books. Oh, when we sent a mail. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, can I please have the book now? That is essentially management, isn't it? Just apologizing for your mistakes and like, you know what, delivery is supposed to happen on Thursday. I know. Can I take 2 more days extra? Please, please. That is so. I am learning management on the go. See, my mom always hand overs the book or the study material because she's such a nice person anyway. But she gives the look, okay? That look, I know what that look is generally. When you're in a flight and the flight attendant has actually already pushed the cart away, and then you call them, excuse me, and then you ask for water. You just ask for water, okay? The flight attendant comes back and like, what do you want? Water. You want water? They give you the water. They cannot deny you the water, but they give you the look. That is essentially what look Simimam also gives. Uh, I'm just going too fast, just running through the script. Okay, we can pause it, slow down, and hear it later. Okay. There's a lot of hatred that is going around in this country right now. It's kind of weird. It's not weird. It's expected only. Well, hatred is there in this world. We have to deal with that hatred. And but people say that you are a hateful person only if you are hateful about a particular thing. Okay, if you are generally hateful, people don't mind it much. Have you noticed that? I'll give you an example. Okay, if you go out and say, hey, you know what, I hate gay people, suddenly everybody will be like, oh my god, are you a homophobe, bro? Oh my god, are you a right wing supporting Hindutva nationalist BJP person, bro? Like, they relaxed. But if you go out and say, hey, you know what, I don't want to like get into people's sexuality, I don't really care about people's sexuality, then you'll be treated as a sanskari. That's very nice. Like, he's not very actively talking about sex stuff. That's very nice. Like, people will appreciate you for that even sometimes. Anyway, there's another example for this. Like, if you go out and say, hey, you know what, I don't like people who eat beef, or if you just say that I don't like beef, and people will suddenly say, oh, get into other people's life, bro. Why are you making other people's decisions, bro, like that? But if you're generally saying that, you know what, I'm a vegan, then people are like, that's not bad. Yeah. Vegans hate all meat, okay? And vegans are worse than terrorists, by the way, okay? Because they make a fucking point of every time they make a point that they are a vegan, they are a vegan, they are a vegan. When you go to a restaurant, okay, they are ordering dal chawal, and then they say to the waiter, hey, you know what, can I get dal chawal because I'm a vegan? He doesn't have to know you're a vegan, okay? Relax with your agenda. Fucking, there's another hateful set of people who are like these people who are against gluten. Gluten, bro, your enemy is gluten. See, there is systematic oppression, there is sexism, there is casteism, divide by religion, everything is there, okay? And you picked a fight with bread, okay? Really, that is your enemy, the bread? Pick better enemies, guys. So yeah, that's the end of my set. This set would have killed on campus, I'm just saying that. So next time when I'm coming on campus, I'll be telling the same jokes, and you guys better laugh for that.